Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Dark Shadows Reviews on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today what I have to review for you, or not just review, but compare together, are the two Gemmy life-size Pennywises. The one on the left being the prototype, and the one on the right being the produced model. Now, I'm very sorry this video is just about 7 months late, and I've been extremely busy. Actually, the first time I've been able to really record was when Donovan had come over, and that's just because I obtained a new job working at a Chevrolet. I'm a mechanic there, so I practically have no time working 6 days a week on top of school. And since the whole coronavirus epidemic is going around with no school, I'm getting double the amount of work, but I'm still trying to work past it, and I'm trying to record. I have a few videos to upload, which pretty soon in the making will be that fat butler over there. We're working on him right now, trying to get him all squared away. I'm sure you guys saw that unboxing. If you didn't, I recommend you go check out that video. And here we are right now with the two Pennywises in front of me. As you can see, they are just way, way different. The one on the right with the hair for the produced model is completely just different with the paint tone. Even the face, even the structure of the head is quite different where the eyes are and everything like that, including, especially if you guys haven't noticed, the paint applications to the head. The outfits are fairly similar, with the prototype having a little bit more detail on it. And for the bases, I'll show you this right now. Now, the base on my prototype is not the original base. The original base is actually off over to the side, which I will show you soon. The reason why I replaced the base was because typically I have him displayed on carpet. So with the weight of him pushing down, it pushes the shoes up. And originally when I first bought it, the shoes were attached by resin to the base, which has broken off since then because of the weight on the carpet, which is why I decided to put the gold Santa base on there, which I spray painted black and spray painted a purple button to be gray. And the reason why I did that is because of the Home Depot stock images from Gemmy Industries showed that version, and that was honestly the version the prototype I was hoping to obtain, which I sadly could not. But I got this one, and I switched the base, and now you really can't even tell. During some further investigating by Donovan and I, we found that there is actually no iMech in the head. However, it felt like there was, and I still believe that there is eye movement on this particular model on the board somewhere. So that could be maybe a possibility to find in the near future if I get a second Pennywise that I can play along with. If you guys also haven't noticed, I finally gave him a red balloon that wasn't deflated, which I still have actually next to him in the video, which you can't see, but I'll show it to you later. So, yeah, I'll go up close really quick, and I'll show you guys the differences in the face, which, as you can tell, are extremely just out there. Like, you can immediately tell the difference between, like I said already, the paint application, the hair, the eyes, even down to the detail on the face, or on the forehead too. You can tell that it's pretty much the same mold, besides where the eyes are, obviously, because this has molded on eyes, as these have the older style inserted eyes, which you would see with an iMech. Now, pretty much it's about the same. The only differences that I'm actually seeing right now that I actually didn't pick up on earlier are by the cheek right here. That's a little bit more detailed, as opposed to these, which are a little bit smoother. His whole entire head has like a completely different shape almost on the prototype, but the truth is it's not actually a different shape. It's actually just the way that the paint's laid out that makes it look completely different and way better. As for the outfit goes, the outfit on this one looks a lot more full, like his body's more full in it, and it looks better in my opinion with the way that his body is proportioned, and that's because they put a full-length body shell on him, which I'm sure you can hear, as opposed to this, which is nothing. So that's exactly why he looks almost anorexic, as opposed to the produced one. And I'm sure you guys saw, but the motion sensor is blatantly put out there on the prototype model, which is not basically shown on the prototype. The produced one is just a big giant black circle. and the prototype is well hidden. Actually, a little bit challenging to activate at times, which is the only complaint I have about the prototype. The only resin pieces on the prototype would be the hands and the mechanisms on the inside. Now, I'm not going to show you guys a complete teardown of what they look like from the inside, simply because I did that already for the previous review of the Pennywise prototype, and you guys all know what the produced Pennywise looks like, as most of you have either purchased it or know someone that has, or have seen an unboxing of it, I'm sure, on YouTube, so I'm not going to tear them apart. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate each one individually. I'm not going to go through all phrases, but I am going to activate each one of them individually, and then I will play them both together. Now, before I get onto that, the prototype, as I'm sure you guys have already seen the video, if you guys haven't, go check it out. It does have a couple unused phrases, as well as a different pitch than the produced one, and the produced one has better arm animation than the prototype, because the prototype has a little bit of a funky mechanism that is kind of like a mix between an older style like Jason and Deadeye Drake, and sort of like what they were trying to do with the produced one. So it's kind of like a hybrid type model. So the arm movement on that is a little bit wacky, and sometimes it makes me worried that it's gonna like snap. But so far we haven't had any issues, and Donovan actually tested it when we were over. As you can see, it's in a completely different room now. It went from my bedroom to my collection room, and it's safe. We swapped the bases, and actually before I go ahead and I test it, I have the base right here, so I can put this up to the camera. As you can see, that's where those resin pieces are that snapped where the shoe is. You can see that the shoe used to go along here, and it snapped because the weight of the carpet actually pushed the weight of the Pennywise pushed him down in the carpet while pushing the shoes up, so it just snapped the resin, which isn't a big deal. I still have the base. I'm obviously not going to get rid of the base, but I do think it looks better on the prototype with this particular base, the spray painted one, and also, as you can also see, it gives him a little bit extra height. It gives him a good 2 inches over the produced one. So give me 1 second, guys. I will go ahead and I will plug the produced one in first, and then we'll go over to the prototype, and then we'll play them together. Okay, guys, so I'm back. I plugged in the produced Pennywise, and actually, while I was plugging it in, Donovan had called me, so he's gonna let you know some things that he noticed differently between the prototype and the produced, and what he thought of it when he was over at my place. So go ahead, Donovan.
Well, the prototype one looks much better than the produced one, in my opinion, even though it's very thin from the side.
Yes, anorexic
the only two
boy.
things the only two things I would really change about that, the way it was compared to the produced one, is I would make the body fuller, and I would have there be a better speaker in it. Because the speaker in the prototype one is not very good at all. There's absolutely no bass to the sound. The programming is honestly better on the produced one. It has phrases that don't have background sounds from the movie, because the prototype literally has sound from the movie. It's not just the vocals or the lines. So programming's better on the produced one, and the produced one is more of a fuller body. But aside from that, everything else is worse.
Yeah, personally, adding on to what he had said about the speaker, I feel like the speaker is kind of like half blown, only because since it was used so many times and at the expos and everything, I just feel like it's shot. I don't think it's supposed to sound like that, but then again, I could be wrong. Actually, my favorite part about the prototype is the fact that they use the raw audio from the movie. I really think that's cool, because you never see that. I don't think that there's another prototype that we've ever seen or heard of that has audio like that. So that is pretty cool to me. And as for the body goes, the produced one, which I mentioned earlier, has a full body shell, which they didn't give on the prototype, which I have no idea why they wouldn't do that. Because it really needs it. And going on about what you said about the animation is actually something that I noticed about the prototype. It kind of has a hybrid between an older Jason or older Deadeye Drake or something arm mech mixed with the newer style arm mech. So I always get worried that it's going to like snap.
Yeah.
And also, Donovan, something I just did actually before this video is I put a new red balloon in his balloon holder, so now he's not holding a shriveled up sack.
Yeah, that some random person blew up.
Yes. So, okay, guys. I plugged him in, and I'll show you what he does, or what the produced one does, and then, like I said, we'll move on to the prototype, and we'll play them together.
Did you miss me? 'Cause I missed you. Where you going, Ed? If you lived here, you'd be home by now. Come join the clown nest. You'll float down here. We'll float down here. Yes, we do.
Now, one thing that really makes me mad about the produced one and Donovan, I don't know if you've noticed this too, but when he talks, some phrases his lights don't turn on, some phrases they do turn on, some phrases they don't turn on until midway or three-quarters of the way through the phrase. And I just don't understand that.
I guess they were programming it to where it's like he's talking to you. I think what they were going for is like when he's talking to you in like a normal innocent voice, they're not on, but when he's like creepier, the lights cut on.
Yeah,
I guess.
I've noticed that too. It's just not. I don't know. I feel they should have not put LEDs in his eyes. I feel like that's really a big drawback to him. Besides the fact that he's lacking major detail, I feel like him not having, or him having LEDs in his eyes the way they are. If they were like how the Fat Butler is, or something like who else has LEDs in their eyes that are behind, or Doctor Shivers, something along those lines, it would have looked better. But I feel like this just screams it's fake when they put the LEDs poking out of the eyes like that, and that's really a big drawback to me. But besides that, I really don't have any complaints with the produced one. I think it's, like I said previously in the first review I did on him, it's one of the better ones that we've seen since about the 2011 mark. 2011 was really the last good year of Gemmy collapsible life sizes, or any good life size for that matter, and then ever since then, 2012 we saw one or two, and then ever since then up until 2017 we've gotten nothing. 2017 was a good turning point. 2018 kind of went down a little bit, and 2019 was really good. I think that this is a good median between the older style life sizes and the pole base. I think that this is good if they stick with this. I feel like it wouldn't be much of a change to me, and I wouldn't mind it. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go plug in the prototype, and we'll go over some of his phrases. Okay, guys, so I just plugged in the prototype. Now, I actually don't know how activating him is going to work, because I don't think that he has a light sensor in him, just because everything's behind the clothes, but we're going to try it that way, and if it doesn't work that way, then I'm just going to have to go up close to him and activate him, because he's just special. Donovan, is there anything you'd like to say? Yeah, or I could clap. That could work, but sometimes he doesn't like to go off from that either. That's one thing I've noticed. So let's go ahead and try to activate him this way. No, he doesn't want to go off this way, so we'll try to clap. Yep, there we go.
Where you going, Ed? If you lived here, you'd be home by now. Come join the clown nest. You'll float down here. We'll float down here. Yes, we do. Time to get your beer ready. Time to float test. Test. Beautiful feet. This isn't real enough for you, Billy. I'm not real enough for you. It wasn't real enough for Georgie.
Okay, guys, so now I'm going to plug both of them in at the same time, and we'll show you what that looks like. Okay, guys, so here they are, both plugged in. Let's activate them for you.
Pennywise, the dancing clown. Pennywise. Introducing Pennywise, the dancing clown.
As you guys can clearly see and hear, I know Donovan heard it as well. The prototype definitely is extremely low, and the produced one overpowers the prototype by a lot. I honestly, I never noticed how bad it was until I just activated both of them together, and I could hear the produced one perfectly. In the prototype, I was like, "What the hell is he saying?" But yeah, I'll go ahead and activate them both one more time and see what phrases we get.
Did you miss me? 'Cause I missed you.
Okay, so that time only the produced one went off.
Where you going? If guarantee you'll be home by now. Come to the clown nest. Don't float down me. Don't float down me. Yes, will you?
Okay, guys, so I just unplugged both of them. I'm happy I finally got to make this video for you. As I said earlier, I've been extremely busy, and I'm very sorry about the wait. But between the two, my personal favorite is definitely the prototype, and it's only, honestly, the only reason why the prototype is better, in my opinion, is because of the detail. Uh, I love the paint application that they put on it. I love the hair. The hair on the produced one looks extremely fake. It looks like I ordered a mask from Wish.com and I put it on. So the prototype looks really good. Honestly, it doesn't even look like Gemmy quality at all. Like it surpasses the way that Gemmy would ever make a prop. It's almost like seeing the Fat Butler prototype, going from that to the produced one. And actually, there's a funny story about the Fat Butler head. If Donovan wants to share that really quick.
Really, right now?
Yeah,
With the
yeah, you
airport
should.
stuff?
Yeah.
Let's make this video even longer.
Yes.
Well, basically, in order to avoid the resin head from completely shattering and shipping, because, when these prototypes came over from the factory, they were all on one big pallet, and that's how none of them broke in shipping, really, for the most part. And so I couldn't really ship the head safely. So what I did is I brought it with me on the airplane, and then I had it in a book bag, and then I put the book bag through the scanner thing, the X-ray, and then they're just like, what is this? And I'm like, it's an animatronic head. And they're like, an animatronic head? I'm like, yeah. And then the woman unzipped the bag and saw it there, and then she was like, oh. And then she called this other employee over, like, hey, it looks like you. And then the guy just pulls out a swab kit and starts swabbing it like there's, some sort of drug embedded in the mask or something, like all over the face. And they're like, okay, you're good. And then I literally brought it on the airplane, and it survived.
Yeah, that's one thing I will never have to deal with is a resin head with this Pennywise. Although the clown, that's a different story. I remember the drive home from Georgia. Oh my god, that was a pain. I had freaking 16 hours of a clown head on my lap. Ugh. Good times, guys. But yeah, so that's really it. Like I said, I definitely prefer the prototype over the produced. However, the produced one's body looks 100 times better. Like the body shape, not necessarily the outfit. However, the body shape looks 1,000 times better because it looks like there's an actual person standing there, as opposed to I just took PVC and threw it together. Do you like it? So that's my outlook on it. Donovan, which one do you prefer?
I mean, I just really like the prototype one, mostly because of the eyes, because there's actual eyeballs in there instead of LEDs poking through. I mean, we could just say that so the produced one had the good eyeballs and the hair was weird looking still. It's like, oh, he's just got some cheap wig on or something. But the LEDs poking through your eyeballs, it's like you are not real.
I mean, yesterday I woke up and I thought I looked like that, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
Alright guys, well that's really it for this video. I do have a lot more stuff coming in the mail that I'm going to be doing unboxings of, reviews, everything. There's actually something coming tomorrow, which is March 24th, depending on which day I upload this. I don't know if I'm uploading it tonight or tomorrow, but either way, March 24th, I'm getting a big item in, not necessarily big in size, but it's very rare, and it's larger than most of the other ones are. I can give you a hint. It's something that's hanging on my wall behind the Pennywise, but it's a little bit larger than one of those. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that video. Stay tuned for a couple more videos of some non-Halloween related figures, which I've been getting a lot recently. I've been kind of venturing out into those. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.